What is good, everyone? Facing off against Nugglo here. And they do have a Terra Fairy, Suian, Arcanine, which is going to be Flash Fire. It's going to be the Chi-Yu answer for sure. They brought both Intimidators. They're going to try to set up hazards versus us. They're going to be annoying. No, Dialga is actually kind of insane. I will totally take that. We see Ogerpon, which is fine for me. Like, it's not great. This Ogerpon's a big threat to my team. But honestly, I'm fine with this. And no Lando is awesome, because that Pokemon was really hard for me to switch into. Yeah, I expected that to come, that and Dialga to come over, like, the Hitmontop. Although, the Hitmontop is good, you know, don't get me wrong. I think there's a good chance that we see Qwilfish on lead here. I think I like Lunala. If we see Fluttermane, like a vast majority of the time he lives Spec Shadow Ball, so I can go for any sort of attack into that. Probably just the Psyshock. And yeah, if we see Qwilfish, I shock it. And yeah, so that Arcanine is not going to be offensive, it's going to be defensive. We know that it's going to be like Morning Sun, Wisp, Terra Fairy, Terra Blast. Going to be annoying, but I mean, we can play around that for sure. It's just very annoying. Obviously. As we see Ogerpon come out to start. Well, they can knock me off here, right? Ogerpon, Wellspring. If this is knockoff, we easily live. And I could get a Will-O-Wisp off on this. Which I think that's just what I'm going to go for off the bat. Because if they want to swap out into any of their likely switches, this is fine. As they do switch, we probably see Snorlax come out here. Snorlax, yes we do. And we land the Wisp, beautiful. That was exactly what I was hoping for on that scenario, or that turn, I guess. I would like to bait the Qwilfish to come in, and I can double around and be annoying. Like, that's the whole idea with all this. I don't have like a great scenario for it right now. I could go Ting Lu in front of this guy, which is not bad. Like, a Body Slam right now is just very tough for me to switch into. I could go Blastoise. It doesn't have as much going on this game. I like Blastoise in double. So we'll do that. I think it's likely we see a Crunch come out here. We might see them just Body Slam, though. Or Curse. We see Ice Punch. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can understand why they would want to go for that, and they're leftovers. The Ice Punch did absolutely nothing. And I think we just double out here. I think... we have options. I could go D-Knight if I want and Dragon Dance up. It looks really good in this game. I kind of want to go to Sneasler as well. I think I'm going to double out to Sneasler here. I don't think they're staying in here. They could. They have to be a little bit worried. As I do withdraw. So this is either Ogerpon or like Qwilfish could come out here. They do go back out to Ogre. Perfect. So we play that exactly how we wanted to. I could Lash Out here. I don't think it's a bad play because I think they're going to try to get their Qwilfish in. But I'm just going to U-turn. I'm just going to U-turn because this is the exact like spot that I wanted to be in, where they go out to Qwilfish or they go out to Hitmontop and I get a free Psyshock. So they do go out to Qwilfish, which is fine. We're just going to go Lunala. And I mean, looks very Fizdef. Like, I might not knock them out with the Psyshock here, but it's the play for sure because it punishes the Snorlax coming in. I mean, I guess I could Moongeist Beam here, or double, or anything, really. Like, a Moongeist Beam is not a terrible play. But if I get this thing chipped, then Sneasler just looks better. So we'll Psyshock on this turn. This is exactly how I wanted this to go, but it might not work out in the best scenario for me. They are going to stay in. This is fine. They're going to take 1,000,000,000%. And we see a Crunch come out. That's okay. They're going to break my Shadow Shield. And they don't have a switch into the Psyshock. They just don't. So they have to pick one to die here. And they should probably choose Quillfish. It means I don't have to worry about hazards, which is nice. But it is also a Sneasler check. I'm assuming Helmet on this guy, since I was protected pads, as they do withdraw. So maybe they got to Snorlax. That is Snorlax, I'm pretty sure. We get to like get a range of damage. So we do close to like they're getting close to 50%. I could easily Focus Blast here. I want to see if we live like in, well, I guess they're burned. I think we live a crunch from them no matter what. 305. I mean, this thing could be rest. If they're rest, it puts me in a worse spot. I think I just Focus Blast into this guy. We miss. Oh, that's so tough. As they Earthquake. Okay. That's fine. That does absolutely nothing. I think on this turn, I'm just going to Psyshock versus them in case they try to predict. That's a little bit tough to miss it because we, like, if they're not specially defensive, we definitely have rolls that knock them out with that move. But I'll Psyshock on this one. Just don't want them to get a free swap is all. We're just like playing our Lunala very aggressively early to break down their core, which has worked. I just have to worry, like, they might be Choice Scarf Fluttermane. Or, I mean, Fluttermane's going to be faster than Sneasler anyways. So I'm going to have to worry about Fluttermane, right? We already knew that going into this game. So they Ice Punch here. Please do not. Okay, they do not freeze. And, yeah, Psyshock just gets a free KO here. They might be able to go out to Fluttermane. I don't think it's a good idea, but they could. So I'm just going to take my KO. Looking like it potentially was Assault Vest on this Pokemon. So maybe the Focus Blast missed. I mean, it would have mattered because I wouldn't have taken that damage. But it is what it is. Now if they're Knock Ogre, they can go out to that. Fluttermane can always come out, but Fluttermane gives me very free Tinglu afterwards. And I mean, I also could go Blastoise on them. Blastoise versus Fluttermane. I mean, the annoying thing is they have the Ogerpon, right? As they do go out to Fluttermane. No booster. They could be like Calm Mind, some sort of variant. It is worth it to me to have Lunala because it's so good versus the rest of their team that I think it makes sense to go out to Tinglu here. But if there's specs, if your specs modest, I mean, this is kind of why we EV'd. We should be able to live too from specs modest. But I think it's a little bit safer to go Blastoise here. I think it's safe to go Blastoise. And I can Earthquake, get a good amount of chip on this guy. As they do Moonblast, we get to see how much. 340 to 220. They do 120 with Moonblast, which does not look like modest specs. It looks like timid specs to me. Yeah, very much timid spectacles. Now, I could double. I don't hate a double here, because Ogerpon could easily come out. Oh, wishing that I had a better move for Ogerpon here. Because do they let this Pokemon take damage here? I really don't think so. I really want to go Sneasler. Sneasler actually does not always die to Moonblast here. And if we get Sneasler out on the Ogerpon, it looks really, really solid for me. Is that the right play? Do I need Sneasler to win this game? I do not. So I'm going to make the play. Boom. Okay, perfect. Huge double. Clotho. Who is that? Okay. Him on top is fine. So we just go Sneasler. Hit him on top. Was that Intimidate? We didn't see Intimidate come off. So this is Technician, interestingly enough. Close combat, if they're not invested, can just knock them out. Probably won't, but could. I think Technician makes a lot of sense into like Chi-Yu though. I will just U-turn on this turn. I think that makes the most sense for me here. They might go for a dark type attack, predicting my Lunala to try to come in. They might like Axle or something as a neutral ground. Please get the poison. Let's go. That's big. That's big. I think triple Axle honestly comes out on this turn, and I think it'll knock out my Lunala from like 305 or whatever. That into Bullet Punch definitely would. We are not 305, by the way. We are 207. So triple Axle most likely does. I'm just going to go back into Toys because I feel like triple Axle makes a lot of sense. Is it? Yep. They do 6 with the first hit of triple Axle. They are not like adamant. We know that for sure. They don't even look like they're offensive, even. I think I want to flip turn. I don't think they're going Ogerpon on this turn specifically, so I'm gonna flip. If they go Ogerpon here, fine, but I've been making the play into Sneasel every time, just doubling. So I'm gonna flip turn on this one. The Hitmontop is very chipped, which is nice. We are faster than Hitmontop, which is a little bit surprising. And we do a lot of damage to it. I could go back out to Sneasler. I think Lunala makes sense here as well. Lunala definitely pressures them a ton. Are they, like, what are they clicking into the Blastoise? I'm going to go Lunala. It could be a bad play here. It definitely could, but I don't need Lunala to win. They Rapid Spin. Let's go. Let's go, man. This is just beautiful. And now I get a kill with Moongeist Beam. They might sucker me here, though. They definitely could sucker me. Right, I think it's kind of safe to go Chi-Yu here. As weird as that is, I think it's safe to go Chi-Yu. I could also go Blastoise and Earthquake and be decently safe. I think they're never clicking a fighting type attack on this turn, right? You're just never. So I'm doubling because I think you're going for Sucker Punch. I think it's just Sucker. Yep, Sucker Punch comes out. That's beautiful. Now it should be Mach Punch that comes out on this turn, which I will eat. I will eat a Technician Mach Punch into Chi-Yu. Even if you're adamant, I always eat it. I could swap around. If I get 2 turns with Blastoise, then this thing will die. So I'm just going to go Toys. I'm going to switch around this Hitmontop because it's a massive threat with that Sucker Punch. If you want to switch out here, that's fine. We might see the Arcanine try to come in. Although if I like tear Dark Pulse into that Arcanine, it's taken 1,000,000%. But I'm just going to switch around. If Arcanine comes out, I think I just EQ into it. They do end up Bullet Punching. Interesting. So maybe not Mach Punch. But that's chill with me. That's totally fine with me. I think I should knock them out with the Rapid Spin for my Blastoise here. So I will just spin on this turn. And, I mean, we're in a good spot. Lunala's very chipped. Chi-Yu's very healthy, which is nice. But it is what it is. Why is my mom sending me text right now? Let me look. I can't even tell. Here, you can take it. I think it's the new bearded lizard thingy. Alright, they finally make the play out to Ogerpon. We get some damage off with Rapid Spin. This Pokemon's very nasty into my team, though. Because the Trailblaze here puts me in a terrible spot. I do have D-Knight, but I think I just sack here. But if they Swords Dance, it's just so bad, right? Swords Dance plus Trailblaze puts me in a massive deficit. What's it gonna be here? If you Swords Dance, I can go out to Chi-Yu for free. This makes it so hard because I can lose here. I think I like Dragonite. But I also could save it just to be careful. I'm going to make the Chi-Yu play. I'm just going to keep pivoting around, trying to put myself in the most optimal position. Ogerpon, Wellspring. Like, Terra Dark, Dark Pulse will knock this thing out from this range. We see Ivy Cudgel. Oh, I just sacked my Chi-Yu for no reason. If I stayed in there, then I get to go Chi-Yu for free, and I basically get a KO with Dark Pulse afterwards. So that sucks. But I'm going to go Sneasler now. I can Dire Claw here. Sneasler versus this Ogerpon. I mean, I always knock you out. The Quillfish, I don't think takes 2 at this range. Quillfish, even like Max Fizdef with Intimidate, I don't think you're taking 2. You definitely don't take it into like a close combat. So I'm just going to Dire Claw. They do withdraw. Just put it over here. Doesn't matter. Yep, this thing does come out here. Dire Claw. Yeah, we're not quite taking it out with that hit. But this should always die to close combat. So we're going to take it out. Perfect. Okay. Not like it's the biggest deal, but we do need to keep our Sneasler around, right? The Fluttermane's going to come out here. I'm going to sack off my Blastoise. If they make the play, if they make the double out to Ogerpon, and they Trailblaze up, that could be really bad. Man, I should have went out to Dragonite. I shouldn't have played it so aggressive. I'm going to go Blastoise, just like no questions asked here. But it could get nasty. It definitely could. Yeah. Man, I think I would have lived that with Blastoise against Wellspring. That Ivy Cudgel. For my... It's a roll. It's a roll. I think it's in their favor. But I still definitely could have lived it. And if I was running a different set, I could have punished them for it. Like, if I was counter or something, I don't know. Counter definitely would not have been a good click on that turn. But, like, body press or something like that could have been really nice for me. I don't know. But we just withdraw. We choose a sack. Cannot believe we sacked the stupid... like, Chi-Yu could have won this game for sure. Okay, but this thing goes down. We're just going to go out to Ting. I have to go out to Ting here. Versus the Fluttermane. Choice Specs, Moonblast does not do very much. What are your potential switches? Probably just sack the Hitmontop if I had to guess. I could, like, actually just double out here if I wanted to. My Lunala is my next sack for sure. Alright. Heavy Slam knocks this guy out if they stay in. If they go Ogerpon, it's okay. So I'll Heavy Slam. They Moonblast, so they give me this Pokemon. Oh! They get special attack drop, that doesn't matter. You're not Babiri. And you're not Sash, we knew that. So that Pokemon goes down, which is huge. That is huge. Ogerpon is still very scary, for sure. But that opens up my game so much. Wow. Wellspring. Wellspring, Ivy Cudgel from this range probably knocks me out. I think so. I think we probably just... click like a payback into them or something. Wish I had Whirlwind. Obviously, we couldn't be with Assault Vest. But like Swords Dance Trailblaze can still mess me up. I think Dragonite still lives a +2 Play Rough though. From full. Yeah, we live +2 Play Rough. And Dragon Claw plus E-Speed will knock them out if we get any sort of chip. So if they try to SD up. And if I Ruinate, man, it's just interesting the damage that this guy's going to be at. I think I just pay back here. If you SD, I think we'll be okay. It could also be bad if they get the physical attack drop. As they just play rough. Perfect. Okay, we live that. We're going to get a nice, like, 50-ish% into this guy. Love to see that. Love to see that for sure. I'll just click it one more time. They should just give it to me. And I could Dragon Dance. They Horn Leech? Okay. They're not +2, so I think I can Dragon Dance. And then they're in range of Dragon Claw. And then I'll be faster than everything on their team. They do have the Terra Fairy guy in the back. I do have to worry about that. Nice thing is I have a Sneasler. Alright, so we just go D-Knight here. I guess I could have gone out to Sneasler here. But I think this puts me in a better position. Because I can just click Dragon Dance. And this play rough just does not do very much to me. Even if they get the attack drop. If they get the attack drop, I have rolls that kill. It does put me in a worse position. They don't, though. So that's good. Now we're +1, and I just click Dragon Claw here. If the Hitmontop comes out, I mean, it's basically dead. But the Hitmontop will go down to an E-Speed. And the Arcanine is forced to Terra Fairy here. Very much forced to Terra Fairy. If they don't, that's fine with me, actually. Because I just will click Earthquake. Arcanine, Hisui. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just going to be like some sort of max HP variant. I don't think you can afford to be Choice Banded E-Speed. I don't think we would ever die to it anyways. So I'm just going to Earthquake on this turn. If you do Terra, you will live. If you don't Terra, you die. So kind of a 50-50 in that regards. And if you Terra Fairy, then you lose to Sneasler. Unless, I guess, you could be Choice Scarfed. Choice Scarf could be interesting. You might not knock out Lunala at that point, though. And then Lunala wins. I think we put ourselves in a good spot to win here. I think they're really debating to Terra or not here. I think they need to Terra to knock me out. If they don't, they can... Or I guess they could Terra Will-O-Wisp. And they would live. They do end up Terraing, so I make the right play to EQ. And they make the right play. But this is going to do 50% to max HP. 50 to 60. They can Wisp me if they'd like to. But we get so much damage. Yeah. And they Head Smash. Okay. They are going to knock me out. They're not Choice Scarfed. Because I'm slow. I guess they could be Choice Scarfed, but they're just a very slow Scarf. Right? Is the play Lunala? I think it's Sneasler. I think the play is Sneasler. If you're a very slow Scarf, then I could lose. But we just Dire. Maybe it was to go out to Lunala. They are just E-Speed. Yeah, we easily take that. Okay, perfect. See, I thought that they would be like the Flash Fire, maybe Assault Vest. I guess they could have been Assault Vest on there, which would have made a lot of sense. Now this Hitmontop comes out, and I think I will be fine if I swap out. I think I go Lunala always. I think they always die after this turn no matter what. Let me just like make sure I don't die. Hitmontop. Just to anything they have to go for. A Bullet Punch versus Sneasler. It doesn't knock me out. I just DC. They do Bullet Punch. We live that, and we're going to take another KO with Sneasler and pick up a nice 2-0 victory. Definitely closer than it had to have been. If I didn't sack the Chi-Yu, I would have been in a good spot. But it was because they sacked the Fluttermane that I really had the opportunity to win this game. Don't think that was a good play on their part to attack. But I made the plays that I thought made sense because I felt like if they Swords Dance on my Blastoise there, I could have lost the game with the Ogerpon. And Chi-Yu was the only play that really worked if they sword stance there. If they trailblazed, it would have been tough, but then I could have brought in Dragonite and I could have Dragon Clawed into E-Speed and knocked them out. And yeah, been in an okay position there. So yeah, just an interesting game in general. Glad with how I played it. Glad that we came out with a dub. Hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out all the other amazing coaches. They will be linked in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.